Hey YouTube, Zalakali here, and today I'm bringing you a PU battle against my really good real-life friend called MrPedromos, or the Shrew, he likes to be known as sometimes. The first thing that I want to say is he isn't really a big competitive battler. He doesn't own the newer Pokemon games or even a Nintendo DS, but he was a big fan of Pokemon a while ago, and I did manage to convince him to play on Showdown very briefly. And this time, he basically found out that I was doing this whole Pokemon commentating thing, and he saw some of my videos, and he was like, "Hey, if you ever need anyone to have a battle with, because you're really struggling for content, then just ask me, and we can have a battle on Showdown sometime." And I was like, "Yeah, that would be really great because I really like battling against you actually because and I know you'll be watching this, Pete. So basically, he uses some odd teams, and some odd moves on his Pokemon, and because of that, it can really catch you off guard sometimes. And even though I had two battles with him before this, he did change his Pokemon's move sets each time, and yeah, it just catches me off guard sometimes. So I'm just gonna start narrating before I ramble on too much. I lead with Bennett because that's my Suicide Trick Room lead, and he leads with Quimby, his Pidgeot. He has the most amazing names for his Pokemon, by the way. He did get a bit confused at that just there. He didn't really understand Destiny Bond or Trick Room, and obviously not being a massive competitive battle, he didn't really know what it was going to do. He goes into Ampharos. I was expecting to outspeed in virtual commas with Glaceon. I don't, so I just switch into Executor to try and take the whatchamacallit, the Focus Blast. He goes for Ice Beam. This is a mixed Dragonair, actually. It's quite cool. I might use it sometime. Even with a special defense drop, he doesn't do enough. I get the Leech Seed, I get the Trick Room, I get the double Citrus Berry with Harvest. I then go for the sub on the switch. He goes into Leafeon, which I can't do anything to because I have Giga Drain and not Psychic. I then go into Gothitelle as he wishes, which is annoying. But this Gothitelle, it did have Shadow Tag, but I took it off because it's not really fair in PU, really. He goes for the Ice Beam and gets the freeze. And my god, the amount of crits that he got in the battles before this, and then this freeze, I was just laughing and cursing him at the same time. But yeah, I do get a charm off it on him to lower his attack. He then goes for Dragon Dance a little bit, getting his attack and his speed up, and I'm like, oh, this is scary. But because I got that charm off, I am going to be able to take two outrages, and unfortunately for him, well, firstly I Thor and get the Trick Room up, and secondly he only has a two-turn outrage and he gets confused. So I go for Psychic, get a lot of damage off on him. He hits himself in confusion, and then he switches out, and I decide to rest because I figured he'd probably want to save his Dragonair because it has done work before in other battles with Ice Beam mostly. Then he shows he has work up in his Stantler, and that's new as well to me. And I was pretty scared at this point because I was like, oh, I'm going to take loads. I take 80% with a max defense Gothitelle. Wow, that's a lot coming from a Stantler. I mean, God, it's not even that good. But yeah, I go for Charm as he goes for Hypnosis, which was probably a bit of a misplay because he could have taken me out. I then go for another Charm, and now he's doing nothing at all with his attacks, especially after the Charm after that. So he then switches out, and I go for Psychic just to kind of get some damage off on something, anything, you know. And then Trick Room ends, and he goes into his Charmico. He goes for Icy Wind. I go for the Trick Room. I'm basically just leaving my Gothitelle in here to die at the moment because I don't really want it anymore. It kind of did its job. So he just keeps going for Icy Wind and stuff. I go for Psychic. It does like a reasonable amount of damage, but not loads. I then go into Morwile because I know I have Sucker Punch, but I forget his Charmico has Hypnosis. So that's my main sweeper dead. I then go into Spinder, expecting to take a Psychic better because it's Charmico, but it's Spinder, so it doesn't take anything well. I do get the crit on Sucker Punch, which probably mattered because it's Spinder, and Charmico is actually fairly bulky. I then predict his protect on his Leafeon, and go for Trick Room, and then I go for Superpower just to get some damage off and get my Contrary going. And then Giga Drains, and then I just use Return to get as much damage on him as possible. It probably would have been better if I just returned twice, but whatever. I then go into Glaceon because I'm pretty sure this Leafeon has some speed in it, and I do outspeed, but he then goes into his Stantler, and I know that thing hits hard. I just want to get a safe switch into something, so I go into Morwile. basically leaving it in to die. I was kind of expecting him to start setting up, to be honest, but for whatever reason, he doesn't, and he just keeps going for the body slam, trying to get rid of this thing. Eventually, after 3 turns, I do wake up and I do get a crit on the sucker punch, and get a fair amount of damage on him, and then he does kill me off with the body slam. I then go into Executor. Because it's defensive, I think I can probably take. It's quite bulky, so I think I can take a body slam, but he does get the power. I was trying to Leech Seed, Trick Room, and then Leech Seed. And then I send in Glaceon, and it gets put to sleep, and I was like, but I do get the first Sun Wake, so I do survive that with a reasonable amount of HP and kill it off with an Ice Beam. And then he brings in Artemis, his Dragonair, and I kill that off with an Ice Beam after he gets me down to 14% without Rage. So that was a really close battle, P. And most of the battles I have with him aren't that close. I have to be honest. But it's really cool when they are because and you've obviously seen he doesn't use particularly standard sets or anything like that. And it's really I really enjoy battling against him because it's very refreshing to see random Pokemon and really random sets that aren't you wouldn't expect to be that good, but turn out to do work sometimes. Especially that Dragonair, that was annoying, and that Stantler, especially with Hypnosis everywhere. An offensive Chimeco, my God, but I know, even though I knew that he doesn't use standard sets, wasn't expecting it to be offensive. As I don't know, I really enjoyed battling him, and I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. So if you did, then comment, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate when you do. But thank you for watching, and see you next time.